Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be recreating this gown. It's a princess that gown with a little flare at the down part. I'll be showing you how to cut and sew it. So make sure you watch till the end and don't skip any part of this video so that you won't miss any important tip. Okay, I'm gonna head to draft out the basic gown block. This is the front part. I've also placed the dart of 4 inches. I added half inch for ease allowance, so I'll be adding my sewing allowance on this pattern. All my allowances I'll be adding it on my pattern, so I will add 1 inch sewing allowance. I'll go off camera and mark the 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'll come back and show you the next thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna head to mark the 1 inch sewing allowance. Because I'm making armhole princess that bustier, I will measure what I have on the armhole. So the measurement will stop here on this first line. So after getting what I have there, I'll divide it into 2. So I will place it on the midpoint. Just divide it and get the midpoint. From the bust point, I came up by half inch. So I will connect it the way you see me doing. Just connect it like so. After that, the next thing is to tighten the underbust. On the center front side, I came in by 0.75. On the side, I'll come in by 1.25. So I'll come down by half inch from the bust point and I'll curve it. My client bust circumference is 38, so that's why I used that measurement for the underbust tightening. For the armhole tightening, I'll be marking half inch on the both line. After marking the half inch, I'll connect it to this half inch I came upwards from the bust point. So the next thing now is to extend the dart legs. To do that, you consider where you want your flare to start. For this particular dress I'm making for my client, I don't want it to start above the knee like the one on the intro video. She says she wants the flare to start around the waistline. So wherever you want your flare to start is where you should connect your dart legs to. So for this one, I'll come down by 4 inches from the waistline, or you can measure from the hip line to 6.5 inches. Can you see that? After that, you slant the dart leg the way you see me doing. If you want it to start above the knee, you just slant it this way. Just measure where you want your flare to start and you slant it this way. For the neck depth, I mark 7 inches, and for the neck width, I use 3.5 inches. I won't be shaping the neckline now. When I'm transferring to the fabric, I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I'll go ahead and cut out the pattern. So for the armhole area, I'll be replacing this half inch I took for the armhole tightening. So the half inch is 1 inch. I will come out by 1 inch like so, and I'll reconnect my armhole. After that, I'll continue my cutting. After cutting it out, this is what I have. So the next thing now is to work on the center front. I won't be touching the side front. The only thing I will do is to extend the length, and I will be doing that when I place the pattern on the fabric. For the center front, the first thing I'll be doing is to add a paper under it just to extend it to the full length of the gown. I'll be altering the center front because the center front is wider than the side. If you check the video I attach on the screen, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna head to add the paper under this center front. Can you see how I added the paper? I make sure I use pin to secure it. I use my masking tape to hold it down here. So the next thing I did is to make a straight line on this center front. Can you see the line? So you also connect it on this part too. This is what you have after connecting it. The paper I put under the center front started from where the dart leg, that's where I want my flare to start. At this point, can you see that? That's where you pin your paper down. So I'll make sure I secure it properly with my masking tape. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to determine how wide I want the center front to be. So I will set the side front aside so that I can work on the center front. For the wideness, I'll be adding 3 inches to what I have here. So I'll mark 3 inches and I will slant it like a flare, the way you see me doing. Please make sure you watch till the end because I'll be sharing a vital information towards the end of this video. If you can remember, when I was drafting the pattern, I told you that I want my flare to start around the waistline, which is 6.5 inches above the hip line. Can you see what I have now? So this is how it will be. Can you see that? So if you want yours to start above the knee line, you can as well slant it from that point. I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting this side, I'll make sure I trim up this center part. This is what I have when I was done. So for this side, I'll just extend the length when I'm cutting it on my fabric. So the next thing now is to work on the back part. I've gone ahead to draft out the back pattern. Can you see what I have? I've added my necessary sewing allowance, that's ½ inch and 1 inch sewing allowance. On the side for the neckline, I used 2 inches and ½ inch for shoulder slant, and I added 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. For the side allowance, I added 1 inch for the sewing allowance and ½ inch for its allowance. So on the half length, I'll be taking out the zipper bulge, so I mark ½ inch and I will slant it the way you see me doing. This is to prevent the zipper bulge. Just connect it the way you see me doing. So after that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll show you how you can transfer it to your fabric. So I have this lace fabric here. It's 5.5. So depending on your size, you can use 4 or 5.5. So I'll be cutting the back first. I'll go ahead and fold it into 2. So I'm going ahead to fold the back part. I'll place my pattern on it. I'll make sure I use my pin to secure it. After pinning it down, I will now determine the length of the gown that I'm working with. After marking down the length, I will add ½ inch on the shoulder and on the armhole. So the back part will also have a flare. For that, you just measure what you have on the knee line. After getting what you have, you now use that measurement to roll it down the way you see me doing. So the next thing now is to bring the front part. You measure what you have from the hip to where your flare started. You place it on the back part. So from there is where your flare will also start. So for the flare, I'll also mark 3 inches on the length of the gown. I'll mark 3 inches and will connect it like so. Please bear with me, my camera was out of focus. I didn't know it was not capturing the down part. Please note that the 3 inches is from where the pattern stopped, like the way I did when I was cutting the center front. So can you see I've gone ahead to cut it out. This is what I have. This is how flare I want the back part to be. The next thing now is to cut the side front. I've gone ahead to place it already. So to determine the length, you place the front part like so. You know, we did not place any pattern on the side front to make the length longer, so you place it like so. You measure from the shoulder to the full length. You now mark it. So I added ½ inch like so. I also added 1 inch from the under bust. This is because of the dart intake. I did not replace it when I was drafting the pattern. But if you want your gown to be fitted like the one on the intro video, please don't add any allowance again. If you add, it will be free. This is because this lace fabric is a little bit stretchy. If your fabric is not stretchy, the ½ inch I added earlier for its allowance will compensate for the that intake I took out. I added this allowance because my client said she wants her own to be free. When she sent this style for me, I said let me use that opportunity and teach my YouTube family how to make this stylish gown. So this is me teaching you another method you can use to sew a line gown. But if you want exactly the one I showed on my intro video, you can follow my instruction to still give you the same thing. Make sure you watch till the end so that you can see the finished look of the dress. So I'll be adding ½ inch on this armhole side too. So I'll go ahead and cut it out now. I'll cut it out. This is the 1 inch I added on the waistline. I really shred down like so. So the next thing I'll cut now is the center front. For the center front, I'll be folding the both selvage together. Fold it the way you see me doing. You now place your center front on it and cut it out. I'll go ahead and cut it out and come back and show you. This is what I have when I was done. Can you see? Also added my ½ inch sewing allowance. On this center front where I have the scallop design, I left ½ inch. This ½ inch is what I'll be using to overlap it. So I also cut my lining the same way I cut the main fabric. You cut your lining for the front and back the same way you cut the main fabric, but for the lining, the neckline will not be the same thing. I'll be sewing the lace separately and the main fabric separately, but the neckline of the lining and the main fabric will not be the same thing. For the lining, I will be marking 4.5 inches. For fabric, I use 3.5. Lining, you will use 4.5. The neckline of the lining needs to be wide because we are not adding zipper to the lining, so you need to be wide so that it can pass through your head. So for the depth, I'll be marking 8 inches. I use 7 inches for the main fabric. For lining, I use 8. I'll curve it like so. I'll trim it out. For the back part, I have exactly what I have on my main fabric. This is because the lining is supposed to be free, so I'll be joining the center back with ½ inch. So I'll make a notch to indicate the zipper allowance. The lining part is supposed to be more free than the main fabric. That's why I did not trim up the zipper allowance. For the neckline, I'll be increasing the neck width by 1 inch. I'll also come down by 1.5 inches for the neck depth. I'll just do that now and I will trim it out. So the next thing now is to show you how to get the front neck design. So I'll first of all cut it out on the paper. I'll mark 3.5 inches for the neck width and the neck depth is 7 inches. So I will now mark the V-neck line. After that, I will cut it out. I'm cutting out the paper, not the main fabric. So after cutting it out, I will now shift the paper towards the 7 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? Just shift it towards the 7 inches and use your pin to pin it on that 7 inches. So after pinning it there, I will now trim up the excess. Just trim it up the way you see me doing. After marking it out, I will now trim it out. As you can see, I left ½ inch that I'll be using to sew it. So before I cut this part off, I will measure what I have on my back shoulder. I want to make sure that it's equal. Measure what you have on your back shoulder. Whatever you have, you place it there. 4 inches, I'll add ½ inch. Can you see what I'm doing? So I will unpin it now and show you what you will have. Can you see that? This is how it will look like. Make sure you start closing it from the 7 inches that you measure down. This is how it will look like. So I will be showing you the easiest method you can use to overlap the center front. I'll first of all hold this first one with a pin. So to make my work easier, I'll be using this fabric gum to overlap it first. I just use this fabric gum to hold it. I'll take my time to apply the fabric gum on it. You can use any fabric gum of your choice. So I will now tap it at the tip, just at the tip, not up to half inch, just at the tip. So I've done it already. After holding it down with comb, you can now go to your sewing machine and sew it down. Sew it at the center to secure it. The gum is just to keep it in place so that you can be able to sew it. So after that, now I will now join the side. I'll join my present dart. I'll go ahead and pin it. After pinning it, I will go and sew it down. If you have watched up to this length and you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button to join the family, and also turn on your notification bell so you get notified once I upload a new video. After pinning it down, I will now go and sew with half inch for the both side. For the back part, I've gone ahead to pipe the neckline with my bias. The next thing is for me to fit my zipper. This is what I have for the front after joining the present dart bustier. So I will go ahead and join the front and back together. I'll join the shoulder. After joining the shoulder, I will shape the side. After sewing the main fabric, I'll also sew the lining. I've already piped the neckline of the lining, and for the back part, I've joined the center back and I've gone ahead to weave it. So I will join the two shoulders together and shape the side. So this is what I have after I was done. I've already attached the sleeve. If you like to see how I cut the sleeve part, let me know on the comment section so that I can drop the video. Okay, this is how my client said she wanted her dress to be. This is how flay she wanted it to be. So I did not just teach you one method. You have learned two methods of sewing a this one is also a princess dart bustier. Can you see the one that I made? So for this video, you did not just learn only one method of sewing a line gown. So the method I taught you, you can use it to achieve the one I showed in my intro video, and this flay one that I made for my client.